You're watching TVC Breakfast. The Independent National Electoral Commission has declared the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Peter Mbah, as the winner of the March the 18th governorship election in the state. The governor-elect who polled 160,895 votes to defeat his closest rivals, Chijioke Idioga of the Labour Party, who scored 157,552, and Uche Naji of the All Progressives Congress, who got 14,575 votes. Mbah's victory was announced by the returning officer, Professor Madubwe Bisi Ofoiwe, 2 days after INEC suspended collation in the state due to alleged electoral malpractice. Let's talk this through by speaking with the spokesperson of the People's Democratic Party in Enugu State, Nana Ogbodo. Thank you so much for joining us on TVC Breakfast. We'll say congratulations to your candidates and your party for winning this election. Talk to us about the intrigues, the issues that happened in the build-up to the declaration and announcement of your candidate as the winner of this just concluded election.
Thank you so much, Ibrahim. Good to be with you. We are indeed happy that it has ended in praise. As a matter of fact, Enugu was tensed up. People were becoming restive. I thank God for the timely intervention that brought it to an end. We are quite grateful to the great people of Enugu State for giving us this mandate. We cannot stop being grateful because it was a contest between ideas that will shape the future and the shared opportunism. It was a contest between leadership and the cronies. It was a contest between future and the black path. Eventually, the good fortune triumphed. Evil men conspire, but good men combine. And by the grace of God, today Enugu has the brightness of hope that tomorrow is indeed here. Thank you.
Well, the Labour Party seems to give you, a run for your money, scoring 157,552, and then your candidate polled 160,000. That's quite, a close shave, would say. Would you say the Enugu people of Enugu are kind of not willing to return your party back to power because looking at the distance, it's not so wide?
Well, the most significant thing is that eventually PDP triumph. Eventually, the people triumph. You must also understand the dynamics of Enugu politics, especially in this recent development. It was a keen contest, I must say so. But we must understand it within the context of the general quest of the Southeast zone to produce a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So there was this kind of momentum in pursuit of Peter Mbah's presidency. People did not even want to contend with whether you belong to PDP or not. There was this emotional attachment to that kind of hope. We must contend with that. But we must also factor in the fact that our opponents in this thing did not get to where they did get because of the value of their own capacity. They did not get to where they did get because of the promises they made or the manifesto. In fact, they didn't even have any manifesto. They got there on sheer opportunism of climbing on the back of that momentum. How be it? A lot of things began to distill after the presidential election. The fact that Obi did not win that election also began to let people know that indeed they could begin to interrogate people based on their personal capacities and not just association with Labour Party. The obedience movement supported our candidate. What luck we had is also the brightness of the candidate we had, the quality of his being. He had a clear message. He told the state where he was taking us to, and the thing resonated with our people. So yeah, it was a keen contest, but to God be the glory. We look back and say, in the Enugu, they were able to distinguish between nudity of ideas and substanceless of promises that were made. And we are grateful to the people.
The people of Enugu were waiting with bated breath when the collation was suspended due to the votes, the figures coming from Nkanu East and Nsukka, because the Independent National Electoral Commission said that they need to carry out a review to reconcile the figures and all of that. What exactly, is special about these particular two places? Could you tell us what really transpired back end?
Well, I will attribute it also to the, I don't want to use a pejorative word. I wouldn't say it is incompetence of the bodies constituted to announce, collate the results. But what happened is that collation had been fully completed before this confusion set in. Had they even followed the principle already set down at the National Collation Center, at the Presidential Election Collation, where the chairman simply told anybody who had any disenchantment with figures or anything should follow the procedure. And the procedure is to investigate their disenchantment at the appropriate quarter, not for them to begin to reduce something that had already come to the stage of full collation of results. But that being the case, this is the fact about Nsukka and the Nkanu West, Nkanu East. Nkanu East is the local government of our governor-elect. It is a local government that over the years has suffered sinister abandonment. It was a local government that, for instance, anybody coming from the hometown of my governor-elect, if he had to get to his own local government headquarters, would have to pass through 4 local governments. He will pass through Enugu East, will pass through Enugu North, will pass through Enugu South, then pass through Nkanu West before he gets to Amagunte, his own local government. It was a local government that had given up hope. So when eventually there was this tintly of hope that one of their own could become the governor, it raised so much enthusiasm. Even those who were never interested in politics suddenly became interested. We all know the value of a man coming from a place and becoming governor. No matter how much the person could be fair in dispensation of amenities, we must acknowledge that no one can divorce himself from his environment and still retain his identity. In the end, there will be some benefits that is associated with the fact that this governor comes from our own place. So the enthusiasm the people shared in the possibility of one of their own becoming governor was evident in the mammoth votes they brought to bear. And the people were now simplistically looking at what did you people produce at the presidential level? That was not a good basis to compare, because the presidential candidate, although he meant so much to the generality of people, he might not have meant much to the people of Nkanu East.
Right.
So the Nkanu East people came out in their numbers to express their hope and expectation. Then, coming to Nsukka local government, you well know that students that make up the population of Nsukka, the students were ordered to be on vacation during the period of this election. You well know that Chidoke Edoga, the candidate of the other party, does not even come from Nsukka local government. It was therefore inexplicable, the quantum of votes that they turned in. But what really mattered was that the election was trying to drag the state into an area of sentimentality that never was a definition of our politics. And I thank God that the man who has eventually won is somebody who has the vision that the state belongs to all of us. Right. I'm grateful indeed to God.
Right. Quickly, before I let you go, yesterday when the resident electoral commissioner was making declaration of the result, we had gunshots, sporadically, and at a point it was intermittent. Why was the situation so tense and so heated that, gunshots were fired around the INEC offices?
Of course, the delay, this declaration ought to have happened on the 19th. And it got suspended inexplicably because the people could not understand why at the stage of final collation of results, when the collation officers have duly submitted their report, then somebody raises an issue. And such issue was enough to stop the declaration of the results already collected. As if it was going to be an hour kind of delay. It's translated to a day. From a day, it's translated to 2 days. people began to mask up, you know. In fact, I thank God for the civility of the people of Enugu State, that in spite of what was an evident provocation, they were mature enough to rein in their anger. It was also difficult for us to hold back the emotions of our supporters. So also, in the other camp, they also were restive. They wanted INEC to just simply pronounce the results, and whoever had anything to do with it would know the channel to follow, and not really to begin to interrogate an issue they have no right to preside over their affairs. It was like a man being a judge in his own case. So it was a measure of the kind of emotion that the delay had raised. I thank God that it didn't end in any casualties.
Although the other parties, other candidates of other parties, kicking against the announcement of a candidate as a winner, but I know that they want to follow the due process, ensuring that they register their grievances. Thank you so much for talking to us, the People's Democratic Party spokesperson in Enugu State, Nana Obodo. Thank you so much.